Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received, and the translation of that message, it reads like this. Hello, how are you? Can you please post my own story as anonymous? I am a South African man, and what I am about to share with you, it may be something that never existed, that never happened, but this happened to me, and it is my own story, a story that will always haunt me like for the rest of my life. What surprises me a lot is when I try to go to church. It's like I can go to church today, give my life back to Christ. I don't know how many times I have given my life to Christ with everything that I saw in hell. I am supposed to be like that kind of a person who knows that the spiritual world, it is there, it is for real. But what surprises me is I do remember everything that I saw that was revealed to me when I passed away and I went to hell. But still, it's like the devil wants me, and the devil wants me to do his dirty work. He wants me to get high, to get drunk as much as I can, to sleep with as many women as I can. I used to be someone that was a player before I died and went to hell. But now what I do, Brother Nashi, it is even worse than the things that I was doing before I had passed away and went to hell. I sleep around. I don't know how many women I am dating currently. Some of them I end up mistaking them for another girl. Like, for an example, the last time when I went to visit this other girl, I had made an appointment with a previous girl. So I mixed up the appointments, and when I went to her, she was like, when you are coming here, please just buy me flowers, and I want you to buy some lingerie for me. The bad thing was that this other girl that I was supposed to go and see, she has a bigger body than the one that I was supposed to go and see. So I messed up things. I went and I bought the lingerie that she wanted to wear during that night when I was going to sleep at her house. But my brother, when I arrived there, that was when I saw the mistake that I had done. I lied and I said maybe simply because I had asked the girl who was working at that shop where I had bought the lingerie set. He had given me the wrong lingerie set, but no, I had actually bought it thinking that I am buying it for the correct girl. I can't control myself anymore. I am someone that you cannot argue with when it comes to demons. If you tell me that hell does not exist, I'll say, well, that is fine. You will find out when you die. But instead of leading by example, I feel like I am now doing the devil's work. I feel like I am brought here on earth to do the work of the devil, like some satanic stuff. Because most of the people in my neighborhood, when they heard the story that I had died and I had woken up, when I came back, my mom went with me to her church as if I was a miracle, and indeed I was feeling the Holy Ghost in me, and I thought that from there on I was going to do the work of the Lord. But a lot of people, they are living their lives in sin because of what they see me doing, because I stood in front of the church preaching to people, telling them that hellfire is for real. Then I turned around and I started sleeping with as many women that I could in that same church. So tell me, in that kind of a situation, what are you supposed to do, or what are you supposed to believe in when you are a Christian that is not yet matured? A lot of people, they wanted me to even start my own church because of my own experience. I would move from one church to another, telling people about the things that I had seen when I was dead, when I was taken to hell. But people, they see me drinking alcohol. They do not even want to believe that hell exists at all. So I am so confused as to why would a person that knows that the devil is there, that knows that demons are for real, the person that saw people burning in hell, return back, and then I continue living the way that I used to live, drinking more alcohol than I used to, sleeping with more women than I used to. On the night when it happened, like it was almost the same thing that had happened each and every time. I would go to work, and then after knocking off, I would go and then I would just drink my alcohol with my guys. And if I was going to get a woman at the groove, then I would go and sleep with that woman at my place. It was on a Saturday. I went to work, and then I was told that there was another guy who had been on off, so he was going to relieve me. And then I went back home earlier on which I was supposed to work on a night shift. I then went and I drank some alcohol. It was 11:30 when this girl that I was with, she was complaining that it was cold. We need to go to my place. She was feeling cold. I even gave her a jacket and I said, we'll leave when the place closes. And she was like, no, I am feeling sleepy. I am feeling cold. Otherwise, I'll just go back to my place, because she was a student who was staying at this other student accommodation. We then went to my place. That time I was not really drunk. So me and her, we had like a big fight. You know, when both of you are drunk, you can just fight over nothing. And she was like, fine, I am leaving, this and that. So I said, okay, get into the car. Then she got into the car and I drove her to her place. On the way back, that was when I said, let me just grab a 6-pack. I got into this other tavern and then I bought the 6-pack and I said, instead of going to drink alone at home, let me just finish up this alcohol, then I will go home. I drank and I drank and I drank. There was a girl whom I was supposed to pick up. The girl, I saw her kissing another dude and I said, to hell with this girl, let me go back. And at that time, I was even struggling to get up from where I was seated, but I pretended as if I was okay. Then I got into my vehicle and I sat down. I started driving, but I was too much intoxicated to be driving, especially all by myself. And as I was driving, this was somewhere like 1:45 a.m., early in the morning. And then as I was driving, that was when I just saw a truck in front of me. And I had a big collision with that big truck and everything just blacked out. And when I woke up, I could hear the beep, 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 and I knew that I was in the hospital. But when I say that I woke up, I did not wake up like, yeah, I have woken up. I woke up, but I was still in that state where I was like in a coma and the machines were assisting me to breathe. I woke up and I saw myself. I was sleeping on the bed. I heard my mom. She was sobbing. She was at the reception, but at the emergency entrance, I could hear everything that was taking place. And what surprised me is I could hear everything that was happening in the hospital, each and every movement, like it was a flood of sounds that suddenly came to me, and I could touch sound and I could feel the sound. I could see the sound waves all over me. That is what happens the moment that you die. You start to see another dimension that we cannot see in this world. When I finally opened like my eyes, I saw myself. I was on a barren wasteland. I was still wearing, mind you, after I had knocked off, I did not even remove the uniform as a paramedic. I was still just wearing my work uniform. Straight from work, went to drink booze, came back, and then I went back to drink more booze, and then I had the accident. I woke up, I was in this land that was like a desert. Nothing existed, no trees, no people, nothing. I was all alone. And then I saw in the distance, I saw that there were orange flames and black smoke, like someone had lit a very big fire that was on the horizon. So I started walking. As I was walking, I wanted to walk away from that place where I could see that there was a fire. The way that I can give you an example, my bra, is when the sun is going down, you see like this very big orange ball that will be going down. That is what I was seeing at that time, but it was not a big orange ball. It was just huge flames that filled the sky. It was not yet hot at the place where I was, but you could see that there is a big fire somewhere there at the horizon. So I then said, I don't want to go to that place because there is a big fire. Fire is not good. Maybe this whole place is going to burn. So rather, let me walk back to my mom's place, because I still had that mind that I am here on earth. I did not know that I was in another land where the dead people will be waiting to go to hell. So as I was walking, that was when I saw creatures that were hiding behind the rocks. I saw these little creatures that were like dogs, but these dogs had many heads. I kept on walking, but I was scared and I tried to ignore them, because now I could see very beautiful houses. All of those houses, they were like the same, painted in white, and the rooftops, it was as if the rooftops, they were made out of gold because they were shiny, and there was a very beautiful cloud hanging over those many houses. So I said, if I reach there, maybe that is where my mom's place is. So as I was walking, those dogs, they kept on walking, following me, and they were multiplying. I saw 1 dog, 2 dogs, 4, 5 dogs, until the whole desert was full of dogs. They started chasing me. And when I said, let me run away from that big flame, instead of me running from that place where there was a fire that was burning, I saw myself running backwards, running towards that place where there was a big fire that was burning. And the way that I was running, within a minute, I saw myself, I was standing at this other big gate. And at that big gate, I saw a very big dog that I can't even explain what it was like. It was like a human being, but it was like a big dog at the same time. I felt so weak in my knees. Whilst I was standing there, that was when I saw 2 beings that were so evil. They were like my own shadows, but they were creatures that came and grabbed me. These creatures, they carried me in the wind, and I found myself in a land that was much more barren, and I could hear people crying. Everyone was just crying in pain. That was when I saw a man. So this man, he was dressed just like your normal pastors, wearing their nice suits, their shoes. This man was a pastor when he was still alive, and he was being punished the same way that he used to give false prophecies. He was being punished, also giving the people in hell the same way that he used to give people false prophecies when he was still alive. And after giving a false prophecy, then the words will return back to him as if it was a sword. So you can imagine that a person holding a knife, and then he starts to push that knife deep into his mouth. He will keep on pushing it until he will have blood coming out of his stomach everywhere, and he would wake up again. Instead of him stopping what he was doing, giving false prophecies, that false prophet, he could not stop preaching the wrong doctrine and giving people false prophecies, and then the words will become knives and big swords that he will start to use, hurting himself over and over again. He then looked at me, he came and he said, Lamin, it is you who was a paramedic and you died drunkard in your final hour. That is exactly what he said. And then I saw that I was in another room, more like a holding cell, waiting to be judged. But the judgment never came. I saw the room rotating, like the wall of that room, it rotated and opened up, and I found myself in a place where there was a big river, and this river, it was made out of fire. This river, it was moving, but it was fire that was burning, and everyone that was with me was thrown into that big fire. We kept on drowning into that fire, which was very painful, and then we would be brought back to those holding cells, and then it will happen over and over again. All of a sudden, Brother Nashi, I found myself being taken up by a black wind. I don't know how to explain it to you, but a wind came and collected me, and I found myself lying again on the hospital bed, and now I could feel the pain. When the nurse found out that I had woken up, she screamed because I was like almost dead. And then the next weeks, that was when a lot of surgeries were performed on me and I was healed. To everyone's disbelief, I had died and I had woken up. When I came out of hospital, I was telling everyone about the goodness of the Lord, because I honestly believed that the wind that grabbed me from hell and brought me back into that hospital, it had been sent by God. But now the problem that I am facing is, even though I saw what happened in hell, how people are being punished for the sins that they were doing, like if you are a prostitute, I saw a woman that was busy making love to a thorn, like it was a thorny bush, and she would insert those branches into her private parts, and then there were little creatures that would come and they will start to rip open her private parts using the thorny bush that she would have pushed inside her private parts. And instead of stopping, she kept on doing that over and over again. Like in my own case, I was brought back, but I can't stop sinning. Where am I getting it wrong? I don't know. And these women that come into my life, it's like there is something that is sending these women. And these women that I date, it's not like they want to date me for a serious relationship. Every woman that I have been with since I started sinning again, sleeping with women that I am not even married to, they have been telling me the same thing. They just want us to have fun. Sex, even if I don't give them money, a girl can just call you like, really miss you, can you come to my place? And she can even give me money, like an understanding girlfriend. I wish to stop what I am doing, for I know what I saw, but I don't know how to stop myself. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our brother right there. Strange things, they do happen in this world. If you have any experience that you have ever had out of the body, spiritual encounter, please bring your story, then we will share it here.